After 43 days, the Premier League is finally back, and what a week of football it was. Brentford played Spurs in what was the first match back after the World Cup, with this match ended as a 2-2 draw. Brentford beat reigning Premier League champions Man City in their final match before the World Cup thanks to 2 goals by Ait-Nouri, and with Tottenham missing 2 of their key defensive assets in Christian Romero and captain Ait-Nouri, who both played in the World Cup final week before this match, Brentford picking up the 3 points wasn't completely off the cards, and after they took the lead 15 minutes in for a Janelle goal from close range, a win against Spurs seemed much more likely. Ait-Nouri, who's facing a lengthy ban after being charged with over 200 counts of allegedly breaching betting rules, scored Brentford's second goal in this match, and to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if he saw Fraser Forster in goal or Max of 5 for himself to score.
This was the no-brainer. This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't fail. This was one that's never failed.
This goal put Brentford 2-0 up in the 54th minute, and with them dominating Spurs for the majority of this match, a victory seemed quite likely at this stage, which put Brentford fans in good spirit, with hundreds of them in attendance singing "You let your country down" to Harry Kane to put him off.
You let your country down! You let your country down! You let your country down!
Harry Kane didn't let these Brentford fans get in his head though, and just 11 minutes after Tony's goal, the 29-year-old headed in a great cross by Longley to reduce the deficit. Spurs have had a reputation this season of playing some diabolical football and going a goal or 2 down, just to then score a couple of quick-fire goals to either equalise the game or take the lead, and that reputation is only strengthened with what I've just described happening in this match.
You can't keep getting away with it!
In just 6 minutes, Brentford went from leading by 2 goals against Tottenham to drawing with Tottenham, with Højbjerg equalising the game for his side 6 minutes after Kane put one back to result in both sides coming away with a point. Crystal Palace were up against Fulham and lost 3-0, with 2 of their players seeing a red card in this match. It took half an hour for Fulham to score their first of 3 goals in this match, with equal over Reed heading the ball past the keeper to put his side on track for 3 points in this London derby, and then, to make matters worse for Crystal Palace, Tyreek Mitchell showed a stray red card to put them a man down with an hour's worth of football still left to be played. Despite the red card, Palace were able to stop Fulham from increasing the lead for quite a while. However, their fate was sealed when Tompkins was shown a second yellow card in the 57th minute to put them down to 9 men, allowing Fulham to run riot and score another 2 goals for Rima Mitrovic, which has seen them rise to 9th place in the table. And although we're not even halfway into the season yet, it seems like Fulham stand a good chance at qualifying for Europe in their first season back in the Prem. Everton faced Wolves and lost 2-1, with Ait-Nouri scoring a last gasp winner to prevent Everton getting any points from this match, seeing Wolves rise from bottom of the table to 18th place, 1 point behind Everton, who could fall into the relegation zone themselves. It could have been a different story for Everton though, as just 7 minutes into the match they took the lead for a Yeremina header, and with Wolves losing 7 out of their last 9 Premier League matches and being the lowest scoring side in the league, a comeback from them wasn't exactly the most likely of things. However, those losses were before Lopetegui was in charge, and it seems like the Spaniard could turn things around at Wolves, with him getting their first away victory of the season in his first match as manager. Their first goal came through Daniel Podence in the 22nd minute, with him firing home a lobbed pass by Moutinho to put his side on level terms. Both sides then fought hard for a second goal, but in the end it was Wolves who came out victorious despite Everton generally having the better chances out of the 2 sides, with Ait-Nouri scored a great goal to win the match for Wolves 5 minutes into stoppage time. This would have been a gut-wrenching moment for Everton fans. They had a chance to go 4 points above the relegation zone but came away with nothing, with them now suffering a 4th straight defeat across all competitions. Leicester came up against Newcastle and were defeated 3-0. It didn't take long at all for Newcastle to break the deadlock in this match, with Mate giving away a penalty 1 minute into the match, which Chris Wood managed to put away. Newcastle didn't back down after this 1 goal, and just a few minutes later, Almiron made it 2-0 to the Magpies to pretty much seal the win for Newcastle 7 minutes in, as with the way Newcastle been playing this season and the way Leicester been playing this season, they didn't really stand a chance of coming back. This goal is Almiron's 9th for the season, which is pretty crazy as before the season, he had only scored 9 Premier League goals in 110 appearances across 4 seasons. That comment Jack Grealish made about him has unleashed a demon. Another Newcastle player who's become really good in recent times is Joe Linton, and he was the man to get Newcastle's 3rd goal in this match, with the Brazilian heading home Trippier's corner to dead and bury the game in the 32nd minute, leaving Newcastle in 2nd place by the time this match ended, with them picking up 33 points from 16 matches, which is very impressive. For 16 matches into last season, only had 10 points and were 19th in the league. Southampton played Brighton and lost 3-1. Adam Lallana, who used to captain Southampton and came up through the academy, opened a scoring in this match, the Brighton midfielder heading the ball into the back of the net to put his current team 1-0 against his former team 14 minutes into the match. Then later on in the first half, Brighton ended the driving seat with Romeo Perro trying to get the ball away from Solly March, but instead tapped the ball into his own net to put his side 2 goals down going into the break, damaging any hope Southampton may have had of making a comeback. Solly March, who was unable to get the credit for Brighton's 2nd goal, made sure he got the credit for the next, with the 28-year-old scored an absolute screamer to increase his team's lead to 3 goals and ensure the 3 points was theirs. Although James Ward-Prowse was able to score a rebound after his penalty, Southampton still found themselves 2 goals down with 17 minutes to go and were unable to come away from this match with a point. Aston Villa faced Liverpool and lost 3-1. It took 5 minutes for Liverpool to take the lead in this match, Robertson playing a great pass to Salah, who scored from close range to set the tone for the rest of this match. This is being Robertson's 54th in the Premier League, seeing him become the defender with the most most assists in Premier League history. After being assisted by a defender earlier in the match, Mohamed Salah returned the favour and assisted another one of Liverpool's defenders, with Virgil van Dijk striking the ball into the bottom corner to make it 2-0 to Liverpool, going into half-time. Liverpool had plenty of chances before and after this, however, Nunez's wastefulness in front of goal stopped them from increasing the lead even more. The Uruguay striker missing 4 big chances across the 90 minutes, and not long into the second half, it seemed like Liverpool may live to regret these missed chances as Ollie Watkins cut the deficit in half when he headed the ball past Alisson in goal. However, this goal didn't end up achieving anything for Aston Villa in the end. Towards the end of the match, 18-year-old Stefan Bajcetic restored Liverpool's 2-goal lead with an excellent finish to get his first ever senior goal a couple of minutes after coming on as a substitute, securing the 3 points for Liverpool as they look to recover from their poor form at the start of the season and get Champions League football. Arsenal were up against West Ham and beat them 3-1. There was pressure on the Arsenal players to perform in this match, not only because they're competing for the title, but because the legendary Arsene Wenger was in attendance to watch this match, with this being his first time attending an Arsenal match after leaving the club in 2018. The match didn't get off to an ideal start for Arsenal, as they scored a goal that was disallowed for offside, and later on in the first half, they gave away a penalty which Ben Rama was able to convert from the spot, leaving them a goal down going into half-time. Arsenal stepped up their game in the second half though, with them scoring 3 goals in 16 minutes through Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and Eddie Nketiah, who made his first Premier League start for Arsenal this season, with the 23-year-old filling in the boots of the injured Gabriel Jesus. This was a great result for Arsenal in their battle to win the title against all odds. However, it wasn't a great result for West Ham manager David Moyes, who is now winless in 70 away games against top 6 opponents, which is an atrocious stat. Chelsea came up against Bournemouth and defeated them 2-0. Going into the World Cup break, Chelsea have failed to score in the last 3 games across all competitions. However, it didn't take long to open them scoring this match, Kai Havertz sliding in and scoring from Sterling's pass to break the deadlock 16 minutes in. Then, just 8 minutes later, Mason Mount added on to Chelsea's goal tally with a fantastic strike from outside the box to put them in a strong position to go on and win this match. Those are the only 2 goals scored in this match, but overall it was a pretty good performance by Chelsea, and Dennis Zakaria put a decent showing in his Premier League debut for the Blues. The only real downside to this match is that 53 minutes in, Reece James came off injured in his first match back from injury, which is not good for Chelsea as he plays a crucial role in this team. Man United played Nottingham Forest to beat them 3-0. Marcus Rashford, who was England's joint top goal scorer in the World Cup, carried over his form from the tournament to this match, with him only scoring for Man United 20 minutes in with a great first time finish from a corner. Rashford then went on to get another goal contribution with him set up Anthony Martial for United's second goal a few minutes after he scored their first, basically wrapping up the game for United in less than half an hour. Forest did get the ball into the back of the net soon before half time, which would have brought them back into the fight. However, after a VAR check, the score was ruled out due to offside and the scoreline said a 2-0 to United going into the break. From here, it was fairly easy for United to hold onto their lead, and then in the 87th minute, Casemiro intercepted the ball and set up fellow Brazilian midfielder Fred for United's third to end the match in style. Finally, Leeds faced Man City and lost 3-1. Although Man City dominated Leeds this entire match and created quite a few chances in the first half, Leeds were able to prevent City from scoring for quite a while. However, in the final few seconds of the first half, Rodri scored on a rebound to give City the lead right before the whistle blew for half time. After this goal, City found it much easier to breach the Leeds defence and score, with Haaland on his return to his birthplace scoring 2 goals in 13 minutes towards the start of the second half to make it 3-0 to Man City. These 2 goals were Haaland's 19th and 20th in the Premier League, with him now becoming the fastest player to reach the 20-goal milestone, 7 games faster than the previous record holder Kevin Phillips, which is crazy. Leeds were able to reduce the deficit in the 73rd minute for a Pascal Schroik header. However, this was the only goal he scored, and in the end, the 3 points went to Manchester City. Anyway, that's Premier League Gameweek 16 recap. If you made it this far, enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and while share, comment down below your opinions on any of these matches that happen this game week. With that being said, have a good one guys. See ya.